Wow, and I thought Sanders' crib was a mess. Blank. Could be useful anyway. It's a bad habit, but good evidence.
Yes? Electrostatic imprint lifter shows us what was on the previous page. Handwritten, pawn shop, Ogden and Forth. And we have a match. Same exact paint batch as that stuff swabbed at the Laughing Academy. Tiny traces of mitochondrial DNA. I was able to amplify it enough for a profile, waiting for you in the computer.
Damn, it's just a partial.
Prints in the computer for you. You're welcome.
Hey, a real lead. Let's track Sid down and see how vicious he is. I don't know. Not sure any of these are similar enough. This looks like the paper we analyzed. Same handwriting, same address. Open 24 hours, except when we arrive. Typical.
What's up? Nothing new to report on that. We've got some mitochondrial DNA from the smoker's mouth. I got a feeling this bud is bad for somebody's health.
That's the same guy as in the hangout. Probably waiting for the pawn shop to open, which should be around now.
What are you looking at? Joe Nobody, what's yours?
Warwick Brown, Crime Lab. You willing to answer a few questions?
Not unless you got a good reason to. So what if I am? Member? Do I look like a member of anything?
A ring. Pretty grimy. This could be a family crest. Well, this one's definitely not fresh off the rack.
That's it. That's all I got for you. What if I did? It's junk.
Hey. Found a gold ring under the gunk and grime. This crest on it would have made it hard to pawn. Pretty small, size 5. Pretty fancy meal for somebody to upchuck on such a scroungy jacket. The ever-popular asparagus omelet, brie cheese. Light on the DNA, though, not enough to amplify for the computer. One of the things we look at on human hair is the medullary index, the ratio of the diameter of the medulla to the shaft. But the index on the one you found is quite high, suggesting a different animal. Judging by the scale pattern, I'd guess a cute little kitty. You might be able to determine the species by comparing it under the microscope to known samples.
Singapura. It's a rare breed. Is that a rich guy's pet?
Something you want? Based on my measurements, it looks like a size 5.
Yeah? What do you need, guys? Well, that's easy enough to check. Oh yes, several to choose from. 7 through Nevada, but only 1 here in the city. Registered to a J.J. Thomas, Suite 3700, North Meadows Condos. Van der Hellen's food was in the victim's stomach, and he's got a real thing about the riffraff in his alley. Okay, so we couldn't actually find poison in the victim's system, but still, he's got an axe to grind. Let's bring in Mr. Warmth.
On occasion. As the manager, I from time to time take the garbage out. I'm not sure I'd say often. It's my property. Is taking security precautions a crime in this country now? What control do I have over what happens behind my restaurant when I'm not present? If some scavenger ate something he shouldn't and met an unfortunate end accordingly, well, what fault is that of mine? I have my free will, and he has had his. That's all I have to share right now. All restaurants, even the finest, and ours is certainly one, have problems with vermin.
And you had your problems, right? With infestation? Namely homeless guys trying to find a crust of bread, scrap of meat. So you sprinkled rat poison all over your garbage like you were seasoning a stew. And our homeless victim came sniffing. And your generosity met his hunger and contributed to the man's death.
Look. Even if I admitted to doing what you said, which, keep in mind, I haven't, there's no way I'd use enough poison to kill somebody. Just a light sprinkle here and there to keep the vermin away. That's all.
Well, you could bet we'll be in touch if any other homeless come in with as much as a stomachache. Oh, and you're still on our suspect list.
Why not? I'm not guilty of a thing except trying to run a spick-and-span establishment. I have no objection. Glad to cooperate. I'm a respectable citizen, and you're wrong about me. I was honored to know him personally. He was much more than just a regular patron to me. A generous man, with a warmth that not all wealthy people, if I might be frank, display. JJ even sometimes had me at his condo, where we spoke of the arts and politics and business over martinis into the wee hours. He was a friend. I miss him dearly.
What's up? I amplified and graphed that DNA of yours, scanned it into the computer. That print has been scanned into the computer for you.
Well, it's not Van der Hellen's prints on the wheelchair. Looks like that's not the restaurant owner's cookies tossed on the carpet. He must not be our guy.
Please, come in. May I help you?
We're with the crime lab. Would you mind answering a few questions?
Yes, it is. It's the home of J.J. Thomas. And I'm Claire Thomas, his daughter. If you're here to see my father, I'm afraid he passed away recently.
We're sorry for your loss, Miss Thomas.
What's this about, officers?
It's just a routine matter, but we could use your input.
Certainly. Bravely. He'd been fighting a long battle with lung cancer, and that's a war you just can't win. I hope I can help you, but I'm not really at my best at the moment. I was close to my father. I'm an only child, and my mother died when I was 5. Daddy was really all the family I had, and now I'm just sorting through things, putting a lifetime into boxes. I'm a little confused and just barely keeping it together. So, if we could make this short, I'd be grateful.
No problem. We just have a few questions.
Yes, while I settle the estate. This was my father's winter residence. The rainy weather in Seattle was hard on him. Last year, when he got worse, he moved here permanently, and I stayed in Seattle. I understand that you're just doing your job, but I'm afraid as vague as you've been, I can't see cooperating to that extent. Not when I'm under this kind of pressure. Maybe later if you can make the reasons for this intrusion a little more clear.
That's all we need right now.
From time to time. I'm his executor and sole heir, and I'm cleared to put charges on the corporate card. Why, yes I did, just the other night actually. Now this is embarrassing. Well, I guess you won't be surprised if I say I've been an emotional train wreck since Daddy died, and frankly, I've been lonely as hell. And I met a man at the casino lounge the other day. We had a nice conversation, and it seemed like there was this little spark between us, only, well, let's just say nothing ignited. Kinda came to my senses, and we did share a meal, but not phone numbers. Oh, that's an odd question. I'll have to think. I had an asparagus omelet, which is a favorite of mine. Really, I don't remember exactly what my, friend had. Frankly, he was nice enough, but awfully bland. Yes, he did. You do come up with things, officers. She's around here, somewhere.
Need something? She ate the omelet, and her cat's hair is on the jacket. So let's see if she's hiding anything else.